background discussions with numerous people, we've had discussions that probably many people have had in regards to how we can get a collective movement to work towards improved sustainability, action on climate change, and other similar issues. I've come to the perspective that this way of thinking is ultimately doomed. In every single case where we have a collective, we have dogmatic attitudes towards certain values. With the conservatives, it's quite easy to pick up. You have quite often religious perspectives coupled with attitudes towards authority, government, and the like. It's a fairly standard, fairly simple values package that they all can share and clearly identify themselves. When you have more liberal perspectives, it's very difficult to get such a collective. This is because no value is beyond question, so you can't have a collective devoted to certain values. That said, there are, however, numerous groups that have latched on to certain values that we can seemingly all agree on and risen them to a point beyond question. To question them makes you worse than the enemy, whoever their chosen enemy is. With this in mind, such collectives are ultimately just as doomed. So the question remains, how do we get people to work collectively towards improving human flourishment and well-being into the indefinite future? The only answer is the answers of the Enlightenment, thorough education, most notably in the ability to critically analyze information coupled with democracy. If an idea is good, is truthful, or meets the needs of the society in question, it's something that most people should be able to agree on, and something they'll all vote for. And if in time new solutions are discovered, new information is understood, these values can be dropped, modified, or updated to suit the needs of those societies. It's the only answer that we have. It's the only way that we can remain honest with ourselves. A century of dealing with fundamentalists and interest groups that latch on to certain values beyond question demonstrates that you just simply cannot reason with them. If your ideas are better and provide a better world, eventually they adapt, evolve, and assimilate themselves to these new situations. Or, alternatively, they'll turn their back on society and live in their favoured way somewhere else, in their own little communities. Beyond pointing out their errors, there is no point addressing them as equals, because their value package is not held in the same way. You can't reason with them. You shouldn't want to. And as we've seen with Christopher Monckton, by holding such value packages as equal, you give them credibility. If they weren't worth addressing, you wouldn't have done so. And in doing so, you've given them credibility. We spend far too much time fighting them. Look at the century and a half regarding creation and evolution. It will not go away, simply because we give them value. We give them serious time and interest. They can make a very valid point. If our views were invalid, you wouldn't pay attention to them. But we are paying attention to them, over and over and over again. We should treat flawed knowledge as it is, as an example that we can critically analyse just for interest's sake, and then move on. We have pressing issues facing our future, and so far we're wasting too much time fighting around with alternatives to honest, critically described information.